Quite a few months ago, I had a client ask me, why do people in the fitness industry suggest strengthening the foot and minimal shoes, as opposed to maybe somebody in sports medicine or chiropractics, as an example, would offer orthotics? And I think it's a really good question, and I provided an answer at the time, but I wanted to spend some time considering it some more and putting together a little bit of conversation, a few points as to why you would consider orthotics or just looking to strengthen your foot using minimal shoes. And I think that in the end, the differences between this opinion between sports medicine and maybe medical, chiropractor, whatever it is, and fitness professionals, I think that both parties are trying to solve pain and reduce injuries. But if we look at this example of the Band-Aid, I think this is a prime example. Let's say you cut yourself. You're going to put a Band-Aid on there to stop the bleeding. Now, imagine that you put that Band-Aid on and then that cut never closes. It never heals itself, but at least the Band-Aid's stopping you from bleeding everywhere. That could be a metaphor for this, where the fitness professional is going to suggest strengthening because it's an internal process. It's an internal focus, saying that your foot should be able to hold itself up, the arch specifically. You shouldn't have pain. So we should build your body back up to be able to do that. And whereas the orthotic approach is really an external device that props that arch up in this example and helps you to feel less pain. And I think I'm going to go on a limb here and say I think both parties are going to agree when it comes to pain, it's a no-brainer. You probably should put that Band-Aid on, or you should probably use the orthotics. And the point is the orthotics will correct the imbalance immediately and prevent further issues. But you might become reliant on it. When you're not using it, your body doesn't have the ability to prop itself up, and over time becomes less and less able to hold itself up. And that's similar to why we're arguing about these minimal shoes. We're suggesting, as a fitness professional, that we want to build up the strength, the muscles, the sensory organs of your foot so that you're better able to do it on your own. But again, if you're immediately in pain and you need to correct something, I don't think any person worth their salt is going to say don't use orthotics at all. But we will, as a fitness professional, say let's find a way to take this temporary pain relief and find a way to improve this in the future, right? So a fitness professional is going to recommend exercise and activities that focus on building that strength and improve the function. But there are some examples like a neurological condition or a medical condition. Of course, it's a no-brainer, if we can call it that, and use orthotic. Or perhaps you're healing from something. Use the orthotic. There's no real argument against it in that instance. But the difference is that we're probably looking this at more of a long term. Fitness professionals tend to be more preventative and long term in nature. And for people in sports medicine, chiropractors, they tend to be dealing with people who already have issues. That's not to say that they don't want to be preventative. That's not to say that they're not looking to be more integrative. But people tend to come to them in those instances where they're already in pain. And that's going to be the immediate response, improvement, alleviation of any further conditions. But when we're looking at fitness people taking these long-term approaches, they're looking to strengthen the foot and the muscles related to the foot. So they're looking to help you with the calf raises, looking for improve your dorsiflexion, looking to strengthen your arch. And that's things like using calf exercise, towel scrunches, perhaps using minimal shoes, balance exercise, looking to get on one leg a little bit more often, using a board or a Bosu ball. They're looking to get barefoot activities like Pilates or yoga or other things where you're not wearing shoes and you can feel the floor and build up the strength of those muscles, just like any other part of your body. And finally, we're always going to suggest minimal shoes because we realize that the shoes that we've been walking around in are sort of deadening our feet, no longer able to feel the floor or sense changes, so we become less and less able to with time. And we actually want to reverse that and help your feet to improve again, to be able to move your digits separately, et cetera, et cetera. And finally, I think a final approach that we look at long term is perhaps using plyometric exercise where applicable. So are we disagreeing? I don't think so necessarily. I think we both want you to be less pain and less injuries, but one is probably a little bit more of an immediate approach, and we would hope as fitness professionals that after that immediate approach is taken care of, that we look to find ways to get away from having to use an external device and shift over to more of an internal focus of control.